401k into physical gold. So click below to claim your free copy of my Dispatches to Future Generations and Birch Gold's Info Kit today.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
About a year in prison.
4 years out of an 18-year sentence in prison.
J6ers have been treated like terrorists.
And we need your help.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
For just $10 or more, you can help these patriots get back on their feet again.
Please scan the QR code to donate $10 or more to support these American patriots.
Thank you for standing in the gap.
I'm David Zere. You're watching Breaking Point on Real America's Voice News. I'm on the ground here at SpaceCom 2026. I sat down with the Commanding General, 4-star General Stephen Whiting of U.S. Space Command about emerging threats. I've got great interviews today for you that I did with exhibitors and contractors here for military and civilian applications. I was also on the ground at the Joint Innovation Outpost at Fort Bragg, North Carolina last week, and the commanders of the 18th Airborne. And right now, I have an interview for you that I did with the National Republican Hispanic Assembly on the ground at North Carolina State GOP headquarters. Trump got 50% of the Latino vote in North Carolina in 2024.
We're here at the North Carolina State Republican headquarters, and we have Sandy Moyer with us. She is the state chair of the Republican Hispanic National Assembly. It's so great for you to join us today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on, David.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. The Hispanic community, North Carolina. A lot of dynamics going on.
Yeah.
In the 2016 election, a lot went for Trump. In 2020, more went for Trump.
Right.
But in 2024, 50% of Hispanics voted for Trump in the presidential race, which you wouldn't expect. Can you talk about some of those dynamics that took place here?
Well, let's talk about the Hispanic community being the second largest voting bloc in the nation, 65 to 69 million strong. And so it is a demographic that we have to make sure that we're trying to capture because they're a power player right now in elections. Now, Trump was able to capture the sentiment, especially with a lot of Hispanic men, because a lot of them were disenfranchised by the Democrat Party, especially when they were pushing a lot of that woke agenda.
Sure. A lot of traditional conservative Catholic
eroding
families.
A lot of the traditional values. I mean, speaking on the transgender issue, which was an issue, the parental rights, which, Hispanics are very family oriented and really want to protect the autonomy of the home. So a lot of the men, very zealous about those type of traditions and values, they gravitated towards Trump's message. It wasn't just the economic faction of it. It was also the social component. And they were also, they agreed with him on illegal immigration and stopping the flow of the illegal immigrants that were coming in. So a lot of folks were voting to make sure that they were securing the border.
Do you see that same level of support? Do you think it's still at 50%? For, say, the Republican agenda or the Trump agenda? Can they retain those type of numbers heading into the midterms? Do you think it's slipping a little?
To be honest, I see the numbers slipping a little bit.
And why? Why do you think that is?
I think the Democrats have a little bit of control of the narrative. I think we need to be better at messaging. Messaging is a big thing. I think Trump is doing amazing things. The problem is it's not getting as much airtime as ICE is getting, right?
Yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit. I was in the neighborhoods in Minnesota and where Renee Good was shot. And, not everybody's a paid agitator. They're very liberal over there. And I spoke to residents in the community in the neighborhood. And we engaged in civil dialogue, but they don't know the issues. And they think that ICE is going around just picking anyone off the street. The Trump administration in the last week or two has really started hammering home on who exactly they're picking up. Is that important?
I think, David, a lot of the folks that contributed to the messaging, the poor messaging, was some of the influencers as well. All right. So a lot of these folks are paid. in these channels, and they're going to put what sells, which is anger, rage. And so they were constantly highlighting these topics when there were other things going on. So they kind of heard the message. Then you had the Democrats who had no message, capitalize on the fact that these folks were only pushing that issue. And so you have Univision, who's Democrat control. You have a lot of nonprofits here in North Carolina that are Democrat control. And you have a lot of the churches who weren't actually, they didn't know the issues.
They're very liberal.
Very liberal. So you had a lot of the folks even promoting that fear. I've heard people use terminology to refer to ICE as Gestapo.
So Hispanics go to church.
Yes.
And then when they go to the church, whether it's Catholic or Methodist, mostly Catholic, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
They have this liberation theology, kind of Marxist agenda, but they also have this pro-immigration, illegal immigration agenda, funding it up through NGOs, up the Darien Gap into the U.S. for many years, Catholic Charities, and the Vatican, right? So how do we change that?
And here's the thing. In the Hispanic community, that is a little bit of a recent development when it comes to the progressive movement getting into the churches. How do we change that? I think we have to talk about, like we talked about before, the cost of human life. I mean, first of all, we're seeing a shift in our Hispanic community where even though they're conservative in values, they're not voting conservative. And some of that is also attributed to the schools. So you have a lot of the schools are contributing to this, the churches are contributing to this, folks are not educating themselves on the issues.
How do you fight that? Like in Minneapolis, they let all the kids out of school today, right, to go protest. They had students protesting, 8-year-olds walking out of school. They're indoctrinating these kids to hate Trump, to hate ICE, right? So how do you counter that?
I think the pastors need to step up to the plate and do what they're called to do. If you're a pastor, you are tasked with preaching the truth. And the truth means all of it. And we already know in our countries, and I say this all the time when I'm speaking to Hispanics, in our countries, we have immigration laws, and they're strict. Okay. And so in our countries, some of these they would not be allowed.
And so I wanted to get into the breakdown in North Carolina of the Hispanic vote, mostly Mexican, right? From the Hispanic community. Can you break it down a little?
Yeah, about 52 to 54% in North Carolina are Mexican, and then you have probably maybe 16 to 20% are Central American, and then lower than that, you have the Caribbeans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans.
So that differs from other states like Florida. You have Cubans, Venezuelans.
Cubans are the number one demographic in Florida. So it's a little bit different messaging. So obviously in Florida, you're going to make sure that you have a really anti-communist messaging because that's what Cubans, they just fled Cuba. And so that works. The Republican Party actually invested 20 years to be able to turn that voting bloc around. Here in North Carolina, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be maybe talking about protecting small businesses, opportunities for work, the economy.
80% are construction workers and small business owners,
absolutely.
right? In the Hispanic community
80%
here?
construction workers, about 52% are entrepreneurs, own restaurants. A lot of them are in the hospitality business. So, they're hardworking people. Yeah. Some of the best tenants you'll have are Hispanics. They pay their bills on time. They train their children to make sure it's a value education. So all these things are pluses in the community, and that's something that the Republican Party also promotes. So are we able to translate that message and make sure that we're promoting that within that we have to give them more airtime? Like maybe have the General Assembly members talk about some of the bills that they've been passing that have been actually very beneficial to the Hispanic community, because you're talking about parental bill of rights.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about.
Yeah, they don't like the woke agenda.
No. You talk about school choice.
And that's why they went for Trump, I feel.
Yeah,
right?
School choice. And we have a great state auditor, by the way, who's making sure, hey, a lot of people want to know where their tax dollars are going.
So there's a lot of angry white people brainwashing, through the schools and stuff. And, these kids are being taught to hate, and between that and the critical race theory and stuff going on,
yes.
It's got to be fixed somehow. I wanted to talk about, and that segues into, are members of the Hispanic community, even here, being radicalized by the left more than, like you were saying, you've seen it more in the Hispanic community than in the past.
Yes, you're exactly right. There's more of an intentional effort to radicalize the Hispanic community, and they're using ICE to be their segue into the churches through the nonprofits, obviously, and through some of the pastors. We had several anti-ICE trainings in Charlotte. The majority of the people that were doing those trainings were, unfortunately, that white demographic. And I just want to say, those people do not speak for all Hispanics. And I do resent the fact that they think that they do. A lot of us believe in following law. And
ICE wasn't really going in the schools.
No, they weren't doing any of it.
It was a lie.
Yes. And the people that were targeting were actually, they had criminal records. Yeah. That's why I say the messaging has to be very clear. Make sure that you're putting that list of folks, like you were saying, and make sure that people are knowing, so you're countering. We had a Hispanic guy that was actually doing that. He was actually taking some of those videos and pulling them full context because people were taking them out of context and trying to kind of dissuade the lies that were being promoted in the community. So we have to do better. Some of these Hispanic pastors, why some of them have realized what's happening, and they're picking up that mantle.
The human costs, right? There were like 300,000 children missing under Biden.
Yes.
There were only a few hundred missing under Trump's first term. They've got that number down significantly.
Yes.
Again, the border's closed. Fentanyl deaths are down. Drug deaths, overdoses. Nationwide, crime is down 20 to 40% in a lot of our major cities. Mm-hmm. I think some of that is contributed to the closed border and the deportations. How does the Hispanic community in North Carolina feel? Do they feel that Trump is making a difference in making things better, or are they against the ICE tactics?
They are hyper fixed right now. To be honest with you, they are hyper fixed on ICE. And no matter how much there's a group that is hyper fixed on ICE because, again, the Democrats have capitalized on a message and have gone full force with it. And this is what I tell people all the time. If we can take that message and say, hey, we want you to come to the country legally because we care about you. We don't want you crossing the Darien border. That is very treacherous. There are people dying. 80% of the women that cross that border are raped.
So they're not getting the right information?
It's what it is. They're not getting the right information. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to do. The Republican National Hispanic Assembly here in North Carolina is trying to make sure that we're in those communities and giving the right information. And by the way, we partner with the NCGOP. The NCGOP has been a huge supporter of us to be able to go out there and do that. We view ourselves as the arm of the NCGOP.
So how many Republican Hispanics are there in North Carolina? And the biggest block are unaffiliated, which is 40% of the vote here. There's only 30% Republican, 30% Democrat. The Republicans outnumber them a little, but there's 39% unaffiliated. The Hispanics go that way, right?
The Hispanic Republicans are a very small percentage. They're about 16 to 18%.
Okay.
The unaffiliated is the largest swath. But when you break it down, 80% of that unaffiliated group leans conservative.
Wow. All right. I'm going to ask you one more question. If you were in charge, if you were the border czar, if you were, in charge of addressing this problem, going forward, what would be your plan? Would you do something different than what's going on now?
I think, unfortunately, what's happening right now, and I tell people all the time, I know that the administration is trying to stop the bleeding.
And you're against amnesty.
I'm against a blanket amnesty. Absolutely, because a lot of folks came here the right way and waited for 5 to 10 years to be able to get there. It's just
millions.
It would be wrong to reward people for illegal behavior. But is there a conversation to be had about the ethics of our current immigration system? Yeah, I think those people have legal status.
Trump was open to DACA to get the border wall funding originally.
He was open to those. And again, those folks have legal status. It's just kind of in the air. They have to renew every 2 years. There's something that could be done with that group, I'm sure. But I am against a blanket amnesty for sure.
I want to thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Sandy Moyer, she's the North Carolina State Chair of the Republican Hispanic National Assembly. I'm very grateful you joined us, and I got to have you on the show, right, as this stuff progresses.
I appreciate you having me on.
All right, thank you for meeting us here in North Carolina. We'll do it again.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more Breaking Point right after this.
We all know that words have power.
They set things in motion.
And make us happy or sad.
But there's one word that stands out because when people say it, lives are changed.
It's not a big word.
It's itsy bitsy.
It's only 3 little letters.
But when you say it,
the life of a kid like me can be changed.
So, what is this special word?
It may surprise you.
It's yes.
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 Yes to becoming a monthly supporter of Shriners Hospitals for Children.
That's right. Your monthly support allows the doctors and nurses at Shriners Hospitals for Children to give the most amazing care anywhere and change the lives of kids like me.
And me. And me.
Because people like you have said yes. Now I can play football.
And I can play catch.
And I can walk.
So what do you say? Will you say yes right now?
It's so easy.
All you have to do is pick up the phone or go to loveshriners.org right now and say yes. When you say yes to giving just $19 a month, only 63 cents a day, we'll send you this adorable Love to the Rescue blanket as a reminder of all the kids you're helping every day. My life is filled with possibility because of the monthly support of people just like you who called the number on your screen and said yes.
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 Your yes is making a difference in my life and the lives of so many other kids like me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving.
Please call or go online now. If operators are busy, call again or go to loveshriners.org to say yes right away.
Hello, welcome to T-Town. Like men over 40 everywhere. These guys experience a drop in testosterone. Don't worry, it happens to all of us. Some guys took my advice about how to boost their testosterone, and some didn't. This guy got the message loud and clear.
That's right, Nugenix Total T2.
From the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC comes Nugenix Total T2, a unique new formula that combines the ultimate free and total testosterone booster with a powerful nitric oxide booster that works in just 3 hours. Feel like a new man, leaner, stronger, with more energy and drive. Get your complimentary bottle by texting SURGE to 321-321.
Thanks. It'll make you feel like a new man. And by the way, she'll like it too.
New T2 is not available in stores or on Amazon. Get your complimentary bottle now. Text SURGE to 321-321. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X absolutely free.
Welcome back to Breaking Point. I had fun on the ground here at SpaceCom 2026 with the one and only Billy Howell, Carefree Largo in the Getter chat.
Oh, having a fantastic time sitting with David Zere and an electric vehicle made for the moon.
Not just any, this is the lunar roving vehicle that's going to be used in the next moon landing Artemis mission, right, Billy?
Absolutely. I think with this joystick, it might be something we could drive around the convention center a little bit.
You think it's all-wheel drive?
Oh, it's got to be.
Wow, that is very cool. We're here at SpaceCom, Orlando, Florida. We have Zahir Ali. He's the director of the Space MBA program at UCF, the University of Central Florida, right? Florida's a hotspot right now for space.
Well, Central Florida in particular is the place for space. At University of Central Florida, we were founded in 1963 to support the Apollo program. We still maintain the technical excellence with which we were created. Programs across engineering, science. We've got one of our esteemed professors just over here as well. But space is not just technology and government contracts anymore. It's also commercial. It's Elon Musk. It's Jeff Bezos. It's makeup. It's printing organs on orbit. And to help with that, we have created the first accredited space MBA. It's a master's in business administration focused on the space economy. I'm the program director, but really the heart and soul of it is Greg Autry, who's the original space scholar, two-time Trump nominee as well.
Interesting. How is enrollment? Is our kids signing up? Do we have enough STEM students in America?
So we can always have more STEM students, particularly given that the adversary is in the field and is moving, and we have to maintain our technical excellence that has driven America's superiority and hegemony since, World War II.
Yeah, so much going on in the space frontier. And again, not just military applications, which emerging threats. I mean, the stuff they're talking about, direct energy weapons, EMPs, maybe WMDs in space. But the commercial applications are so vast and so broad right now, right? There's a need for this field.
So when you think about what's happening in space commercially, it's not just a new sector. It's not just a new application. It's like Columbus discovering the new world. What all business models, what all opportunities were created by that access, right? SpaceX, Blue Origin, they've created that access for us by driving down the cost of launch. Now we need entrepreneurs. We need innovators to take advantage of that. And that's really why at UCF, we're not just focused on the technology of space, but we're also leading the world in the business of space.
Where can our viewers find you, and where can they get their kids to come visit you and get involved?
Well, definitely, UCF.edu is the website. Business.ucf.edu is for the School of Business. Or you can just Google Space MBA UCF, and it'll pop right up.
All right. The director of Space MBA at UCF, Zahir Ali, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, sir. Go Knights, charge on.
So many exciting companies on the ground at SpaceCom here. And we have Nicole with us from the Mojave Air and Spaceport at Rutan Field. What is that?
So Mojave Air and Spaceport is a spaceport license for horizontal launch. We also specialize in general aviation. There are many, many things happening in Mojave: hypersonics, supersonics. We have access to our 2508 complex, which gives us restricted airspace that we work really closely with Edwards Air Force Base with, that gives us access to that supersonic corridor.
So private industry also can come to you and use it as testing facilities?
Yes. Yeah. We typically have companies like Honeywell that will come out, and L3 Harris occasionally.
Yeah.
And of course our mission partners that are located in Mojave test with us as well.
You partner with the military at all?
We do, when they do need testing. The military does come and train a lot at Mojave, typically in the Boneyard area, but they do come out to Mojave.
So spaceports are popping up all over the place. I was with somebody yesterday. They were doing one in Uruguay, Australia, other places. Is that because this industry is exploding? Space is the new frontier?
It is. A lot of what we're noticing is that vertical launch is very much now everybody's doing it, everybody's trying, and there's not enough on the Cape or even in Vandenberg or any of the other Space Force bases that are typically allowing launches. There's not enough space and time for them. So we're hoping in Mojave that we can go vertical in the next couple of years to help kind of alleviate that.
I know you can't talk about a lot of your projects, but what about, can you share any of the successes, Mojave?
I can. Last year we had Boom Supersonic, actually during the conference last year. They went supersonic and hit Mach, I believe it was 1.2. So we were really excited for them. We were really excited to be here.
Is that the quiet aircraft?
That is the quiet aircraft.
That's really neat. That's really, so you can go over civilian populations with supersonic jets without breaking windows.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we were really excited for them.
And that was at the Mojave Spaceport?
It was.
That's very exciting.
They were able to go into that R2508 corridor and accomplish that supersonic speed.
Wow.
So.
Well, that's really interesting, Nicole. And do you have a website or anything people can follow?
We do. It's www.mojaveairport.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck at the expo.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks, Nicole. Down here in Orlando, Florida for SpaceCom, and we have NASA reps here, Austin and Gabriella. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Exciting time right now in NASA, right? With Artemis coming up. What else you got going on?
Artemis 2 is the main push right now. We're headed towards wet dress rehearsal, and then after that, we'll determine a good launch date.
What does that mean?
So wet dress rehearsal, you probably have a better explanation.
Yeah, so wet dress rehearsal is when they fill the rocket up completely with all of the payload that it needs, the fuel, everything, and then test everything, make sure everything is good to go for launch. And then if that goes well, we'll know our launch date soon. Right now, the agency is targeting no earlier than February 6th.
Right, that's when there's a window for that to happen. And right here, right on Space Coast in Florida.
That's correct.
Yes, correct.
Wow. So tell us about you're a private contractor doing work with NASA.
We work for the CLICS contract, where we work special hand in hand with NASA, with our civil servants, and our mission is to support NASA and the agency and everything we can do.
Why is it so important to go back to the moon, Gabrielle?
So long term, we want to get humans on Mars, and specifically we're aiming for Americans to be on Mars. So moon is, we want to reestablish humans on a planetary body close to us before we can get to that next step.
Are the Chinese going to beat us back to the moon?
We don't know, but we are going to launch to the moon soon. So
they're
cool.
Collecting water samples there, right? Maybe?
I'm not entirely sure. They're going to end up doing a lot of things. Artemis 2, we will be launching 4 astronauts around the moon. It'll be a 10-day mission, and then they will come back. Artemis 3, we are actually going to be launching landing astronauts on the moon for the first time.
It's very exciting. You know, we got to the moon the first time without all the advanced computers and AI, and slide rules and engineers. So do you feel like that in the U.S., the space industry is back on track? A lot of exciting things.
Yeah, we're super excited. Regardless of how the space industry is looking, Artemis is very exciting for humanity. We want to get back on the moon as soon as possible, and that is the belief.
Thank you so much for joining us, Austin, Gabriella. We're here at NASA Artemis around the corner. Artemis 2.
Artemis 2.
Thank you so much. We're here with the first robotics competition. We have Devry, Evan, Eric, and Lucas. How you doing, Lucas?
Doing good.
How old are you guys?
I am 16.
Wow. You got some great stuff here. You got some robots here. Tell us about the competition.
So the competition, first is a global organization that is dedicated to helping out students with skills that they need to succeed.
Wow. And how about you? How did you get involved, Eric?
Honestly, my mom put me on this team.
All right. Well, that's good, though. It's really exciting. We're going to show some of your robotics behind us here in just a moment here. So what do you do with the group? You help build robots?
I help build the robots, but I've also helped the team with business and something called Impact, which talks about our team's team structure, our volunteering, our diversity, and our leadership structure.
Wow. And Evan, what's your role?
So I am a mechanical and electrical designer. I do a bunch of the physical prototyping of the robots and what we want to accomplish for the competition.
So this is a worldwide competition, right? People come from countries all over the world, students, to participate.
Yep. There's another team in the Dominican Republic that we have personally helped out when I was previously on 5816 Gravy Robotics.
Wow, it's fascinating. Devry, tell us about yourself.
So I do a lot of what he does too. I CAD, I do mechanical, I do electrical.
How old are you?
I'm 14.
Wow. So how do you guys get the breadth and scope of knowledge? I mean, I had a 300 baud modem in 1980. It was really slow. But you guys are into some really high-tech stuff. How do you get all this knowledge?
So we have our amazing mentors. My lead mentors are Philip and Jesse. What are your lead mentors?
How about you? How did you get interested?
So I actually, it was Maker Faire out here in Orlando. I went there one time and I saw these big old robots and I got really interested and I helped start 8324 Micro Robotics.
Did you ever win anything, Eric?
I didn't personally win anything.
Did your team?
My team, yes. We won the Impact Award.
Wonderful. Now, what's the difference between this and, say, BattleBots? Because that was like my favorite show back in the day. What do these robots do? What kind of tasks can they perform?
Well, first is all about cooperation. Cooperation is about helping out other teams and is not just about yourself. Because if you're in a match and you hit a robot and something goes off on them, the next match you might be paired with them. So it's good to help out other teams.
Wow.
It's encouraged.
Yeah, and in my world, they call that don't burn your bridges. And you guys, you have robots at home, like do your laundry or anything like that?
No.
Not yet?
Not yet. Maybe in the future, though.
When you build one, I will buy one. I'll be the first in line. Great young men here down in Orlando, Florida at SpaceCom, Space Congress, from the first robotics competition. Where can people follow you?
You can follow us on our Instagram page, FRC 5816.
All right. And you have a website, too?
Yes, we do have a website. It is 8057.com.
All right. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. We'll be right back with more Breaking Point on Real America's Voice News.
America's in a fight for her soul. Our freedoms are under attack. Our values are being torn down, and the same corrupt elites who built this mess think they can silence us. The patriots who still believe in this country, not a chance. Here at Real America's Voice, we're standing shoulder to shoulder with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, a movement that says we will not be silenced.
There is no force on earth that can stop us from saving our country.
The voice of millions of patriots who refuse to kneel to tyranny. This is the movement of fighters, men and women who still believe in God, family, and the American dream. The conservative alternative to AARP.
Real rights, they come from God.
If you're ready to stand up and join the fight, go to amac.us/RAV right now. That's amac.us/RAV, because this isn't just about politics. It's about saving America. Faith, freedom, America first. AMAC and Real America's Voice, united for the Republic.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. It stretches and expands like a rubber band. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Copperhead. It's the hose that grows and pivots, flexes, and sprays. It puts itself away for another day. The Pocket Hose is so unique and so innovative, it was awarded over 100 patents. Call or go online now to get the Superlight 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $39.99. But wait, order right now and you'll receive an instant $10 discount. So it's only $29.99. And it gets better. Order right now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. And with 10 unique patterns, you'll have a setting for every job. A $30 value. Yours free with every 50-foot Copperhead. Plus, Copperhead comes with a full 10-year warranty. It's that durable. That means you can order right now with total confidence. But this special offer is not available in stores or on Amazon. So order right here, right now. And with rising costs, this may be your last chance at this low price. There is a strict limit of 3 per order. So don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
Welcome back to Breaking Point. I'm David Zere. I was on the ground at Fort Bragg, North Carolina last week with the commanding officers of the 18th Airborne in cooperation with private industry and academia to get weapon systems to our warfighters quickly. Check it out. Hi, General. David Zere, Real America's Voice News. How did the President's executive order on defense acquisitions, which got codified in the NDAA, come into play? Did it have anything to do in concert with the Joint Center here?
Actually, General Schneider would be more better person to ask on that. I believe this belies certainly the spirit of what was put in the NDAA and this council.
Yeah, it seems like there's unison between the Pentagon, the White House, even Congress, House Armed Services Committee, in getting rapid capabilities at speed and scale delivered to the warfighters, right?
Absolutely. And it's putting the right skill sets in the right room at the edge, as opposed to developing the capability to innovate in the Pentagon or somewhere else. We're doing it in the field. We're putting the right people there, getting the right feedback from the right soldiers and right leaders.
We are really bar napking to reality, and we can make things happen, get soldiers items to test. And then the JIOP is a great place for those items to kind of join industry and become program of record.
What is this drone here? What's the innovation here?
So this is an RQ-28 Skydio drone. This is the box it actually comes in. So our paratroopers knew to jump in an RQ-28, they had no way away. So we designed a drone case that is, we make in-house, we got it from the Kydex, sewn up the patch, we printed the squishy insert. Yeah, absolutely. These are also made the same thing.
So does it replace this case? It all fits in here? Is that what the innovation is?
You're still jumping in like batteries and controllers. So this is the immediate fight on the drop system.
So this could go and be launched anywhere.
And then this comes in 5 days later on the echelon. When airlanes are coming in, this could be in a truck, ready to go with your resupply of bags or whatever else will do. This is your immediate force to fire on the entomology. So his case is the cartridge industry with high-speed gears, 150 carrier right now. The insert is air-paid. So as equipment gets outdated in pages, you keep the case, we build your annuity insert for whatever equipment you have. This is no longer just a drone tatum, it's our modular Xerium days. So we are designing inserts for nods and night vision, respirators, anything that fits within this footprint, we can build this.
Does this fit in with the Army rapid capabilities? Yeah, this can go on a rucksack. We can jump out of a player. So we can send a paratrooper into combat, self-sustain for 48 to 72 hours on the job zone with what's in here. In fact, we had a unit jump in and do our final test with it. They were the only unit to have air reconnaissance for the first 48 hours in the outbreak. Wow, because they were able to jump in. Interesting. On location at Fort Bragg, our nation's largest military installation, and we have with us now the director of the Joint Innovation Outpost, Colonel Tom Monahan. How are you, sir?
Great, Dave. Great to meet you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Great ceremony today. Lieutenant General James Gavin, youngest leader of the Airborne, right?
Yeah.
37 years old?
37, 38 when he's a division commander. That's a record.
And he jumped with the troops, right?
Jumped with the troops, 4 combat jumps. I think that's a record that's still unbroken today. 4 combat jumps as a general officer.
So this is exciting because I've been covering the Naval Rapid Capabilities Office, and I know, Trump's defense acquisition executive order and things have, really it feels like there's a lot of impetus to get real-time solutions for an ever-changing threat and battlefield.
Oh, 100%. So speed is also a requirement. And that's one thing that we're kind of practically applying here. We're getting rid of the old calcified processes that are stovepiped and very direct, and they take time to go through all these little wickets, and we're putting the warfighter with the acquisition professional, with the funding agency, with the test facility, industry, academia, all under one roof to crunch on one specific problem at a time, and we move on and move on and move on and iterate.
In concert with private sector and academia.
Correct,
right?
correct.
So
Yep.
you got multiple eyes looking at a problem to solve.
Multiple smart brains, individuals, groups, all big think tanks working on
So is
problems.
the Dragon's Lair competition?
Correct.
I was watching the troops were showing me a drone case that was developed, so the paratroopers could jump and get on the battlefield with the drone and get up for aerial reconnaissance immediately, right?
Correct. So the beauty about that drone case scenario is, from the acquisition perspective, the requirement was to deliver a drone, but no one ever thought about how the drone would be delivered with the warfighter. So that wasn't part of the requirement. So soldiers get a drone, and there's no way to employ that drone on the battlefield. So soldiers derived the problem set. They came up with a couple solutions.
Yeah.
They developed a case. Then we sent it over to industry. Industry made it, and that whole process took a couple months. And now they're jumping with that drone case. They're protecting the equipment, and they're employing that device in the field.
It could save lives, right? These guys are first on the ground. They may get the initiative over the enemy, right?
They could, yeah. They could.
All right. Well, this place is amazing, and I'm really glad to see that there's a priority for America, to remain vigilant and develop these systems at speed and scale, right?
Correct. Yeah. Speed and scale. Time is a requirement, and that's what we're doing here.
Excellent. Everybody, the director of the Joint Innovation Outpost here, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Thank you, Colonel Tom Monahan. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
We're at our nation's largest military base, Fort Bragg in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we are at the Lieutenant General James Gavin Joint Innovation Outpost with Congressman Richard Hudson from the 9th District. How are you, sir?
Doing great, and it's an exciting day for North Carolina, exciting day for the Army.
Yeah, North Carolina is like the epicenter of the economics and all kinds of stuff, critical seats, House races, Senate races. But your district goes all the way from Greensboro all the way down to Fayetteville, right?
That's right. It's a central part of the state.
So we watched Trump sign the Defense Acquisition Executive Order codified by the NDAA. House Armed Services Committee was behind and backing, I think, this all the way. And we spent time with the Department of War. It seems like the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army and the branches are in unison in getting systems delivered to our warfighters.
Well, absolutely. And it starts with our commander-in-chief. Our commander-in-chief is a guy who says, let's stop doing things the way we've always done them, and let's question how we're doing things, and let's do them the right way. And that's exactly what we need. What this Joint Innovation Outpost means is that Fort Bragg is now the face of innovation for the Army. We're going to bring together people from academia, folks from the private sector, along with our warfighters to solve problems, to make sure that our warfighters have the innovation, they have all the best tools, that we're never in a fair fight.
Yeah, and it means everything, right? We're in changing times, logistics, cyber warfare, unmanned, systems. Things are changing really fast out there.
Well, and conditions on the battlefield change hourly now, and you've got to be able to to respond, and this allows us to be nimble. You know, you have a problem that a soldier has in the field, they can bring it here and work again with academics, with private sector, and coming together. That synthesis makes everybody better, and it'll make it quicker. And the idea is, let's get those innovations back to the battlefield quickly.
I think the Army Rapid Capabilities Office started in 2016. I think the Air Force maybe in 03 or 06. The Naval Rapid Capabilities Office under John Phelan is doing amazing things in partnership with private industry. It just launched in October, I believe. These things are critical. But tell us about delivering these systems at speed and scale with private industry in North Carolina. What kind of companies are involved here, and what kind of institutions are involved?
Well, it's exciting. You know, one that I mentioned during my speech is Hendrick Motorsports, known for their involvement in NASCAR. Rick Hendrick, great American. He is now working with GM Defense to build a new vehicle for our military. So we had the Humvee. You know, the Humvee's got its problems. Parts are hard to get. It's, you know, got mobility issues. We've got a better vehicle that's cheaper, that you can get the parts off the internet, and so our warfighters have a better capability, and the taxpayers get a deal because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
And so that's just one example where a North Carolina company is delivering by working with the warfighters to figure out what they need.
North Carolina, a very special, SPEVCO built these 6 mobile museums. We covered the 250 Freedom launch up at the Revolution Academy. These mobile museums to educate our kids about the founding fathers around the country. And another North Carolina company. You guys have a great economy here.
We do, and it's because we've had conservative leadership, and we've, not only have we cut taxes year over year, but our folks in the General Assembly understand that you've got to get rid of the regulations too that are unnecessary to free up business, to create a climate for businesses to thrive. That's why we're one of the best places to do business in the country.
You guys going to pick up that Don Davis seat to go red?
Absolutely. You know, we Republicans are going to hold the House. I'm chairman of the campaign committee, and we've recruited great candidates around the country.
Yeah, I sat down with Michael Watley last night, and he seems really motivated. He's everywhere. And how about the residents of Western Carolina? How are they doing? Are they getting relief?
They're still suffering. I mean, these things take a lot of time. We had a meeting with the governor just last week in Washington with our delegation. We're doing everything we can to try to get federal funds loose. It's the scale of the problem. I mean, 45,000 homes lost. I think they've built several hundred now at this point back, but it's going to take a long time, but we're working hard on it.
Well, we're very excited to be here. Lieutenant General James Gavin served in World War II, airborne, was the youngest leader ever, commanding general at 37 years old, right?
Yeah, he was the youngest division commander in the Army when he took over the 82nd Airborne. He's the only general officer to have 4 combat jumps, which is amazing. They call him Jumping Jim.
Yeah, he liked to jump with the troops, right?
He believed the leader ought to lead from the front, and he was an incredible leader. But what a lot of people don't know is General Gavin was a leader on research and development.
He pushed helicopters.
He pushed helicopters to move troops, which ended up being a critical innovation in Vietnam era. He pushed the development of missile technology. I mean, he's got quite a legacy.
Well, this is all timely. We face emerging threats, real-time threats around the world. It looks like the President, the Department of War, Congress in sync on this issue, right?
We are, and again, it's Donald Trump's vision, Donald Trump's leadership. He's someone who questions everything. Let's not keep doing it the same way. Let's look at a different way to better equip our soldiers and take care of them and their families.
Excellent. Everybody, the 9th Congressional District Congressman Richard Hudson from the great state of North Carolina. Thanks for joining us.
Great to be with you. Thanks.
Right. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Breaking Point on Real America's Voice News.
Yikes. Leaky refrigerator coil card.
Oh, no.
But your future is bright with an American Home Shield warranty
to protect your covered home systems.
Don't worry, be warranty.
Donald Trump Jr. here with an urgent message about retirement accounts in America. My father just changed 401ks forever by initiating the process that will allow gold into 401ks. But here's even better news. You don't need to wait for your 401k provider. You can use this strategy today. With a self-directed gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group, you can convert your IRA or 401k into an account with all the same tax benefits, but you own something that will be there when you need it. To find out more, click the link below to get a free info kit on gold IRAs from my trusted friends at the Birch Gold Group. Inside, they will show you exactly how to diversify your IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Do it now before the rest of America jumps in. Click below for your free info kit.
Kevin paid off over $12,000 in credit card debt with the help of Consolidated Credit. They cut his interest rates and lowered his payments so he could pay off his debt fast. Call 800-596-8062 for a free consultation.
It's time to stand up and save with InstaSeal by Bell & Howell, the world's first vertical vacuum sealing system designed to save you money. InstaSeal removes the air completely, extending freshness up to 6 times longer. Now that's saving. Get the complete InstaSeal system. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-308-6802. That's 1-800-308-6802 or order online at buyinstaseal.com.
This right here is confidence in a bottle. It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work after your first application. Call the number on your screen.
Call 1-800-854-0295.
Welcome back to Breaking Point on Real America's Voice News. I'm at SpaceCom 2026, where I sat down with the Commanding General of U.S. Space Command, 4-star General Stephen Whiting, about the emerging threats to our assets in space. WMDs in space could take down our stuff in lower orbit. Direct energy weapons that are terrestrial based, maybe from China, that can knock down our equipment, cyber attacks, hunter-killer satellites. We sat down for a candid discussion on the threats that we're facing going forward and the cooperation, according to Trump's Defense Acquisition Executive Order, to cooperate with private industry and academia to get weapon systems out there quickly to our warfighters. We are here at SpaceCom in Orlando, Florida, and we are sitting down with the commander of U.S. Space Command, General Stephen Whiting. How are you today, sir?
I'm well, David. Thank you for the opportunity to talk today.
Yeah, it's great. I'm very honored that you took the time. I know you're busy. You got to get back to Rocket City, right? You got to go back to Huntsville.
I am headed to Huntsville. You know, the president's directed that our headquarters move there, and so we're spending a lot of time there making that move a reality, and excited for the opportunity that's there.
A lot going on there. You'll be undergoing construction and building new facilities.
Oh, that's right. You know, it's an extraordinary moment when the president stands in the Oval Office and directs where your headquarters is going to go. And so now we have to make that a reality as fast as possible. And the real opportunity for us at U.S. Space Command is to design and build a purpose-built headquarters that will be exactly what we need to execute our critical warfighting mission. So it's an important opportunity.
I thought it was important for our audience to get to know a little bit more about Space Command. You're directly under the Secretary of War, and I am part of the new media in the Pentagon and focusing on rapid capabilities, the Naval Rapid Capabilities Office. I was at Fort Bragg last Friday for the Army cooperation with private industry and academia to get stuff delivered at speed and scale. So tell us a little bit about the U.S. Space Command and your role with private industry, the private sector, and do you work with academia to develop systems?
Yeah, thank you for that question. You know, it's an interesting time in the space business because historically, if you go back to the 50s, 60s, even the 70s and 80s, governments led the innovation in space. But really, over the last 10 to 20 years, it's now private industry that is really driving the innovation in space. And that's a real opportunity for us. And fortunately, in the United States, it's American commercial space companies that are really
at the leading edge of that, and that's a massive advantage for our nation. So at U.S. Space Command, we want to be very well partnered with those companies to take advantage of the new capabilities that they're developing so rapidly to execute our critical missions. And then we leverage that with a partnership with dozens of academic institutions, because there we're getting great new ideas and also helping to train the next generation of our workforce and other space organizations' workforces. So that's an important partnership for us as well.
Real-time threats, emerging threats around the world, and especially in space today, between direct energy laser weapons that are terrestrial-based to ASATs, anti-satellite missile technology, munitions that may be able to be deployed from satellites or structures in space, right? Maybe robot arms to do damage. How real is this threat right now, and how quickly has this evolved?
Yeah, it's really developed incredibly fast over the last 10 years. Now, there have been threats to space systems going back decades, but in that last year, we've seen a rapid advancement. And, the American public may not think a lot about space threats. It's, they can see aircraft, they can see ships if they're in a port town, but they don't necessarily see the satellites, even though they're getting benefit from them. But other countries have seen how space enables our entire defense system, and they have built capabilities to try to deny us. And you articulated some of those. It's everything from cyber attack to jamming to directed energy weapons to direct anti-satellite rockets that can launch and hit satellites, to other satellites that we call co-orbital ASAT weapons that can attack satellites. All of that is real and present today.
I was told that low orbit satellites may be in jeopardy with these direct energy weapons. Is that a real threat? And do you have to go deeper into space with our equipment?
I think each orbital regime, and you mentioned low Earth orbit, there's a medium Earth orbit, there's a geosynchronous orbit. Each of those have their own unique threats. So yes, while threats have proliferated, like directed energy against low Earth orbit, the fact that we now have larger constellations that we can leverage makes them more resilient. And then there's other technologies that commercial companies and the government can bring to bear that helps to mitigate that risk, but it's something we have to watch very carefully.
There are reports that the Russians may have a WMD deployable in space.
We've seen those reports over the last 2 years or so of potentially putting a nuclear weapon on orbit. And, that has been something that was outlawed by the Outer Space Treaty. And so we're very concerned about that. Yes, there's an international law aspect, but we're concerned about it because of how irresponsible such an action would be. It would hold at risk every country's satellite systems, the United States, China, Europe, Japan, even Russia's own satellite systems. So, our goal is to make sure we see that does not happen.
What about the EMP threat? There were talk years ago that North Korea may have an EMP space-based type weapon. Is that a real threat as well?
I think EMP is a threat, and typically we think of that in terms of an intercontinental ballistic missile, and we don't want any of those kind of threats, whether they're armed with nuclear weapons, EMP weapons, or even conventional weapons. And we've seen a proliferation of those ballistic missile threats over the last several years, and that's why at U.S. Space Command we have satellites and large radars that maintain warning. So any launch of a ballistic missile anywhere on the planet, we instantly are tracking that and providing that warning up to the Secretary of War and the President, as well as our fielded forces.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, so the whole game is about initiative with mutually assured destruction, right? We put Pershing missiles in Europe in the 80s, pretty much ended the Cold War in a way, along with the SDI spending we were doing. It gave us the initiative to hit Moscow, say, or Russia before they could hit us, right? If the Russians have a device or something that could be launched, would it be something that's launched from space directly into the United States versus, and is that something where the Golden Dome would come in?
Well, the reports that we've seen of the potential Russian nuclear weapon would be it's a satellite with a nuclear weapon that would be detonated in space to destroy other satellites. Okay. So it would not come back to affect the population directly. But imagine if we lost all of low Earth orbit or we lost our GPS satellites, that would have massive impacts on the average American through the economy, through aviation, through emergency services. And so that's why we have a U.S. Space Command, is help to to defend the space systems that our country is so dependent on.
I just have a few more questions for you. Europe, they're developing a space command as well, and do we have allies? And are countries aligning like the BRICS or the Axis powers, or is it breaking up into groups?
Well, we have a number of partnerships in space. In fact, at U.S. Space Command, we maintain a what we call a named operation in space, and it involves 6 other countries. And so in Europe, that's Britain, France, and Germany, but it also includes Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. And we as 7 nations have agreed that we will operate together in space each and every day. That's an American-led operation. I have the privilege to be the commander of that. And we have executed on-orbit maneuvers together. We share intelligence information, and we maintain constant vigilance together in space.
Yeah. Can you address participation of Space Command in the Maduro events in Venezuela, as well as the Iran bombing?
Well, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs shortly after that operation was part of a press conference with the Secretary of War and the President, where he talked about that U.S. Space Command and U.S. Cyber Command provided all domain effects that were incredibly integrated in planning and then in execution to help open the way for those forces that went in, incredibly professional forces, as well as provide overwatch. And what that really represents, David, is that in today's world, it takes all of our capabilities across the Joint Force, air, land, sea, special forces, cyber, and space, all working together. And we were, proud of our role in that, and very proud to see how that operation unfolded so successfully.
So my last question, is this sort of similar to SOCOM, where you have Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines involved with Space Command, and you can reach across the different branches to accomplish a mission?
Yes, we are a joint command. Now, I have to start by talking about the U.S. Space Force. I'm a Space Force officer, and we get the lion's share of our capability from the Space Force, and they're an incredibly important partner. But the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Marines also give me forces and people, and all of that together we use to defend American interests in space. And it really does take all of us and the expertises of all the services to achieve this outcome. And so, I'm very privileged to get to work with members from all of those branches, and I see their strengths each and every day.
So it involves communications, signal intelligence, satellite imagery, stuff like that. Is that where the Space Command comes in with operations?
Our operations are about supporting the rest of the Joint Force. You named communications, GPS, missile warning capabilities, again, to detect those missile launches, weather. We also do operations to protect and defend those satellites against the threats we were talking about a moment ago. Really, all the things that the rest of the Joint Force has to do on the air, at sea, or on land, we have to do those same things in space. And it does all start with intelligence.
One more thing. What is the role of Space Command in the Golden Dome?
Yeah, we say at U.S. Space Command, one of our moral responsibilities is to help defend the nation against space-enabled attack. And President Trump's far-reaching and visionary declaration of the Golden Dome is about taking care and being able to defeat the threats that are now space-enabled. And so he talked about in the executive order, there would be space-based interceptors, space-based warning. And so we would expect at U.S. Space Command that we would provide those capabilities to the rest of the Joint Force and then be tightly partnered with the missile defenses that Golden Dome envisions.
Okay, we have the commander of U.S. Space Command, General Stephen Whiting. I want to thank you so much for taking the time. We're here in Orlando at SpaceCom, Space Congress. We're going to go see the exhibits, and thank you so much for your time.
Great, really privileged to be here. Thank you, David.
Thank you, sir. I want to thank everybody for joining the Rav family and watching Breaking Point on Real America's Voice News. See you next time.
Hey folks, it's your friend John Rich. I co-founded Old Glory Bank because we heard too many stories about people getting canceled by their bank because they didn't agree with their politics. The government wanted to know where you shop. If you bought a Bible or you shopped at a sporting goods store, you're probably on a list. We created Old Glory Bank because America needed a bank that would protect their privacy and security. Exercising your constitutional rights is not a criminal activity, and neither is loving your country. At Old Glory Bank, we stand with you.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff and less flexible? Do you have trouble sleeping? Are you less active than you once were? Introducing the EasyWell Remedy Massage System that combines the incredible effects of vibrational therapy, targeted deep tissue shiatsu massage, plus soothing infrared heat. A triple fusion of therapeutic experiences delivering health-boosting treatments to your body. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation, bringing relief to joints and muscles and reducing inflammation while supporting your overall mobility. Look at these beads moving from the powerful vibrational motors.
It's amazing. It's like 1,000 little fingers just vibrating my body from head to toe.
Infrared heat penetrates deep to relax and soothe your body, reducing joint pain and stiffness and increasing circulation.
Remedy gets in there and helps deal with the source of the pain, so you feel much better.
The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 infrared heated nodes is designed to mimic a professional massage specialist's hand kneading and working tight muscles in just the right way to bring maximum relief and pleasure. It is even detachable, allowing you to get a deep tissue relief in your upper and lower back, neck,